Okay, we are back. So, today we are continuing the Spare Mirror of Awakening, but we're not in the event just yet, just because I wanted to talk a little bit about a few things. So, I was researching and kind of refreshing my memory on some of the things in the story, since this event has so many references. First, what I came to realize is that apparently Loop Loop was released in this time between Chapter 13 and Chapter 12, so we didn't even get to see Rimuru become a Demon Lord yet, but they just released that event early, so I'm guessing they already knew what was coming up in the timeline, like either for the regular story, and so they just decided to put the original story of this game in that little time slot, or they just didn't even know where the story was gonna go and just randomly just decided to put Isis and Rimuru in a cutscene together to just explain Loop Loop. But I think they may have known ahead of time, because I'm pretty sure the manga and light novels have been out, and I'm pretty sure there's people on the team that have probably read those. I just wanted to make a little bit of a timeline. Now, I could be wrong with my little timeline, but I'm pretty sure this is how it goes for the events that lead up to the Spare Mirror Awakening. So, where everything begins is when Shinsha and Kokoyo are fighting during Rimuru's awakening as a Demon Lord. Rimuru sent Diablo off to try and find any survivors or deal with any threats that could still be around. And so Diablo finds Kokoyo and Shinsha battling and just quickly defeats Kokoyo. But in the battle with Kokoyo and Shinsha, Shinsha became gravely injured or just beat up enough to where she got into a small coma / needed time to recover. And so with her in the coma, she couldn't defend herself, and Isis had to grab Shinsha before Diablo finished her. And with that is basically when the events of every other event begins. So Loop Loop is the first event to happen, I'm pretty sure, because it's just Isis and it's Rimuru after his awakening. So he's now a Demon Lord since he has his Demon Lord outfit. There's not much to gain from the Loop Loop cutscene, but it's just him wandering off, destroying magical beasts in the few days before they call him for the Octagram. Rimuru gets trapped in Loop Loop for who knows how long. It could either been a few hours, maybe a day, or a few days. It has to be less than the time it took for him to go to the Octagram, so I would say a little less than a week. Because I don't remember the exact amount of time it took for the Octagram to begin after he awakened. But yeah, apparently that adventure just happens within that time frame, which is so weird because to this current point, we are not even out of Loop Loop. If the farthest point you can actually go, he is still trapped in that tower, so we still have not seen how Loop Loop ends. But yeah, at some point, Rimuru gets out of there because he does remember Loop Loop in Tempest vs. Mad City and references it quite a bit. I'm pretty sure a day or two later is when Tempest vs. Mad City happens, but Rimuru just doesn't remember because the spell still works on him to make him forget his memories. So yeah, the entirety of Tempest vs. Mad City happens in like a single day, if not a few hours. Everyone forgets everything, aside from Veldora and Diablo, I'm pretty sure. The main thing to take away from Tempest versus Mad City was that the fakes and Emilis were not destroyed. It's just because Shinsha woke up, and because of that, they just all started fading away, but they weren't destroyed. And so that's why they're probably still around in the spare Mirror of Awakening, or at least Emilis is. Alright, I forgot this little detail when mentioning Loop Loop, but that's the origins to most of this stuff, because Isis once did a experiment where she put multiple mirrors on someone's desires, and that's how she created Loop Loop, because the desires were stacking up on each other to create Loop Loop. And so with Tempest versus Mad City, that's what she did, but for Shinsha, and that's how she was creating like endless fakes that all wanted to be stronger there. The only reason she was able to do the other two plans was because Shinsha was knocked out and just dreaming about what she wanted. That was helping Isis get strong minions. And so, yeah, that leads into the third plan, the final plan before the Octagram, which is when Shinsha and Isis were starting to create the fairies, which went on a rampage. So yeah, 3 different plans happened in like a 7-day period or less, which is crazy to hear. Now, 7 months later, 3 months, I don't know the timeline of this entire storyline. But yeah, months later, everyone's now working together, and Cliché has found her way into the mirror dimension. I guess trying to take it over. But yeah, that's my little abridged timeline. If you guys want to go look at the videos and go see for yourself, or if you guys play the game and go read that for yourselves. But it is very interesting on how all these events are connected and lead to here. Because there was so much stuff in that. It's like, I was kind of blown away by how much the writers and developers kept track of. But yeah, let's just continue. The Enlightened, Part 2. Yeah, I wonder if we are just gonna kill Mokushan, or is he actually gonna get away or something like that? It would be a little disappointing if Mokushan just left the story right away again. Yep, alright. Masquerade Sky, Part 1. Ak! I knew you were strong, but not this strong. Of course I am. I'll go. I'll cut off all 6 arms, just like I did to the real thing. Alright, so I didn't even know that there was anyone around to see this or help in the battle. I'm glad to see some Shion/Mokushan dialogue, since she did beat up Clayman. I only need 1 arm! 1 hand. 3. Which will come? The top? The bottom? The middle? All of them! Lariat Shaver! Ak! You! There! Alright, even more people are getting into this fight, or everyone was already there. You're not getting away! You still rush in so recklessly. 1 arm is enough to deal with you all. Ugh. I still have an arm left, no? What's wrong? Are you at your limit? Then I'll just have to bind those hands. Trying to beat me with numbers, huh? Interesting. Heavy revolver. Yeah, I do not remember any of these moves, so I don't even know if these are real moves that Clayman had in that form. I guess I was wrong, because I thought Mokushan wouldn't have been that strong even after evolving and having those other forms. I thought even these guys could take him, but apparently not. He is just that powerful. Ugh! Don't push yourself, guys! His fists are... You seem to know, Rimuru. Yes, these hands hold the lives of many. These fingers that grip so many hearts. They're so heavy. I fold each finger, starting with the littlest, and gradually make a fist. You insult us by calling us forgeries, but we're living creatures with beating hearts. The weight of our lives in my fist, and it's just so purely and incredibly heavy. Purely and simply, my fists are heavy, all 6 of them. There's no way you can defeat me in hand-to-hand combat. Then how about this? Beelzebub! I knew you'd do that! Masquerade Blaster! What? Ah! Masquerade Sky is a pure, superior form of Kaido Sky. Huh, so he has his own version of Kaido Sky, or however you say this. Yeah, I do not remember how to say that name. A superior form? So it should have the same weakness. That is not what that means. A superior form is better, so it means it probably got rid of that weakness, or that weakness has barely any effect if it has any effect. Affirmative. You can damage it by attacking with multiple attributes from all directions. I'll take some hostages just to be safe. Masquerade Sky. Trap the ogres in the mirror scales. Despair Mirror. Oh no! Guys! Papa! Okay, finally we get to see Shinsha and Benimaru. Or at least they're done with their training. What the hell is this? So, there are still some ogres out there. Oh well, as long as I've got hostages, nobody will dare lay a hand on Masquerade Sky. In that case, I'll just destroy its owner instead. Oops! What a quick reaction. Okay, from that laugh, I thought that was Hikaru, or maybe Hikaru's double or fake, whatever you want to call him. But it was actually Diablo. Naturally, I was expecting to fight against a primordial demon. Diablo, when did you return? I sensed a disturbing presence, so I returned at once. A presence? Wait, that's it. The enemy is a group involved with mirrors, right? So Isis should be able to sense their presence. Isis! Isis! Could you make these guys disappear? It's no good. I can't connect with her. Answer. There appears to be a powerful barrier that is strong enough to withstand a battle with a true dragon. This seems to be also blocking thought communication. Are you kidding me? Well, maybe it's not a good idea to interrupt her training anyway. Alright, we'll just have to handle this on our own. That's what I was planning to do. Same here.
お任せください。
However, Shion and the others are being held captive by the dragon, aren't they? I shall take it upon myself to rescue them.
止まれ
Huh? Hey! He jumped into the mirror by himself! Alright, so I don't even know how this prison works. Because I thought it was just an energy barrier created out of mirrors. But I think it's possibly a mini mirror world that he's able to use the mirrors to trap someone in. Considering Diablo just jumped into it and jumped into the mirrors.
これは良い。
Heh, what a fool! Leaping into despair on his own accord. Despair? In the meantime, why don't we entertain ourselves over here? Alright, that's kind of interesting. So, Shion, Hikaru, Soy, and Diablo are all in the mirror world. That's where I'm guessing he sent them. So, possibly, are they gonna be the one to meet or not Isis, Cliché, and Emilis?
お任せをはっはっ
And I really do wonder, are we going to see them? Like, is Mokushan gonna survive this and team up with them? Or is he really gonna be killed here? Also, I'm glad that they actually reference the title of the event. A lot of the time, they don't even say the name of whatever they're supposed to be referencing, or whatever the event is supposed to be. Despair Mirror, Part 1. Ugh! That dragon deflected a crucial attack! Ouch! This guy's fist hurts so much! Diablo, come back quickly! That was fast! Hey, where's everyone else? Oh man, he actually looks sad, like he failed his mission.
残念です。
I couldn't find them. It seems as though they're in another subspace.
なんだ
You seem upset. What happened?
はあ。
There was a scene of despair. This place.
おお。
I'm glad to see you have awakened, my lord.
ふむ
Yeah,
素晴らしい。
I offer my sincere congratulations on your successful evolution to Demon Lord.
と
Who are you again?
く。
Ugh. This scene always brings tears to my eyes, no matter how many times I think back on it. But why is such a scene in the mirror? I guess anyone who goes into this mirror tastes despair or relives a despair memory. I thought it just like teases people or destroys people mentally by showing them something that would put them in despair. So like making some kind of nightmare scenario. But it's just making Diablo relive this situation of when Rimuru couldn't even remember his name, instead of like creating a new scenario where Rimuru is like, I don't need you anymore, Diablo. Just get out of here. We don't want you around.
お願いいたします。
As I asked of you previously, I wish to serve as your lowest, most humble servant.
うーん
You want to serve me? You look strong, but you seem fishy, so I'll pass on that. What?
そんな。
Please wait.
なんと。
That's right. Or rather, perhaps, Ranka should have had a say in this.
く。
Ah, this may be the first time that I have ever felt such despair.
仕方ありませんね。
Indeed, I sympathize with you, even if you're just a mirror image.
ふむ。
Mirror image. Yes, that's right. I am your reflection. Then,
ふむ。
huh,
行きますよ。
I shall replace you and serve great Rimaru. You really think a nameless replica like yourself can defeat me?
うーん。
It was such a peculiar space.
おお。
At that time, I was just happy to serve as a subordinate. I was even given a name. It was truly a moment to savor as a supreme being.
ええ。
To imagine what it would have been like without those things. It makes me shudder just thinking about it.
ですから。
Since that despair is what manifested over there, I felt great sympathy for him from the bottom of my heart. I swiftly executed him as a mercy. Damn! So, I guess don't feel sympathy, or at least hope you don't have Diablo's sympathy. Because he will just execute you if he thinks that's better for you. Like, oh, he'll just be happier if I just give him a swift death. A dramatic series of events as usual, but it certainly is a strange space. Kinda like the exact opposite of what Isis can do. Huh? Now that I think about it, aren't Shinsha and I the only ones who can remember what happens inside the mirror?
Kai.
Answer. The phenomenon is caused by the individual Isis's unique skill, megalomania.
かと思われます。
I assume that the mirror world inside Masquerade Sky does not have the same memory loss effect.
ふむ。
So this one has nothing to do with Isis. I'm relieved, but...
なるほど。
So the demon was able to overcome it swiftly. But what about the ogres? Can they overcome despair?
うーん。
If I tried to help directly, I'd just be sent to another subspace. And if I defeated the dragon, I'm not sure what would happen to Shion and the others.
であれば。
It seems that the correct move is to target its owner, Mokushan. I orchestrated this situation so that you would have no choice but to do so. All I had to do is conceal myself in the dragon's shadow.
負けん。
Then we'll just have to outnumber you. Cuckoo, allow me to join you. Not enough. Gah! What was that blow?
ほう。
He's more powerful than I imagined. Of course it can shoot out a breath attack. So it's got both attack and defense covered, huh?
行くぞ。
Shinsha, the two of us will hold him back. Try to stay out of everyone else's way.
はい。
Roger that.
容赦はしない。
Let's pincer him from the sides, Diablo.
はい。
Understood.
はい。
I expected an attack like that. Revolver Lariat!
くそ。
Ugh. There aren't any openings. But
なるほど。
it's true that the best defense is a good offense. However, the axis of rotation is located at its feet, so it shouldn't be able to move them freely. That's where I'll slash.
ふん。
The top is defenseless. I'll pierce through the top of its head. So the top and the bottom are defenseless in a sense. If someone like Diablo and Rimuru together are being pushed, and then a bunch of Rimuru's strong executives are all being pushed away, like, I don't know how strong that makes Mokushan, but considering Isis seems to be like at a somewhat reasonable level to Veldora. I'm not entirely sure. Does that make Mokushan around that level? Around Issa's? Because she's seeming like the only person that's strong enough to Veldora without going to Veldora levels of strength. Because I think Veldora can still easily destroy Mokushan. But Diablo back then, during Tempest vs. Mad City, was like one of the strongest people. That's why it was him and Veldora that were trying to save the day for Rimuru. Because they were the strongest. And now Diablo can't even hurt the enemy, at least by himself. So we need someone between Diablo's strength and Veldora's strength. Uncrying Oni, Part 1. Water Surface Slash! Cleaver! Ugh, your kicks are sharp too! But can you withstand an attack in that position? Easily! One arm replaces a leg. It seems to be elastic too. It's been a while since I've been able to enjoy an opponent like this. Everyone, come out quickly! What the heck is going on here? It is unthinkable for us ogres to be defeated by mere orcs. Masked Majin, this must be all you're doing. Ogre Flame! Sorry, fire doesn't work on me. Let me show you real flames. Is that from that time? Extra skill, Black Flame. A space that is replicating the past. If that's so, then Lady Shuna should have stepped in to mediate. Young master, please take the princess and flee. I will end this. Shut it, old man. I took upon the burden of avenging our fallen brethren, and you want me to flee from the enemy when we finally found them? Man, I find it so interesting. This is how Benimaru used to be. Like, kind of rude to Hikaru. I mean, the situation was kind of dire for them, considering they were the last 7 ogres? They were the last of their kind from their village, so it was a desperate situation. I guess didn't have that much kindness in him. I was raised to become the next leader. Don't make light of my resolve. Instead of living in shame, I'd rather get my revenge, even if it cost me my life. Young master, if you fight, I will fight by your side. It completely backfired. Well, that's enough then. Whoa! Gwa! Wait! Damn it! What is this? This is completely different from the past we know. Okay, so he is altering the memories to make them different or more despairful? Yeah, I guess in that first flashback, Ranga was supposed to say something, but it feels like we didn't get far enough to see the differences. It just seemed like Diablo was talking over his flashback, so we couldn't hear what was going on. And then his version tried to kill him. But this one, Shuna, I guess, was too impressed with the black flames, or maybe too scared to say anything. Also, that face on Hikaru looks hideous. A Majin that can shoot flames this powerful? To think a monster like this would be behind it. We can't even stop the pigs that serve him. Huh? This surging power, despair, and resentment. It's as if our negative emotions are turning into power. How very strange. Perfect. Now's the time to take down that Rimuru guy. Let's go after him. Everyone. Certainly. Wait for me. Who is she? She kind of looks like me. Yeah, so this is interesting. The fake versions in this mirror world are also kind of sentient, just like the main versions in the real world whenever they come out. But they're not like just evil like the first versions of Isis's creations. These ones are actually kind of like thinking and not like, let's just attack whoever, or yeah, I'm just gonna do this just for being evil. You are nothing more than my mirror image. This whole space is just a pale imitation of reality. Okay, Shion, just laying it on thick of like, yeah, you guys are nothing but fakes. What nonsense! Rimuru, that masked Majin? Are you also his subordinate? That makes us enemies! It seems that talking to them won't achieve anything. Also, I kind of find this a little disappointing. They're all having a shared memory instead of having separate memories. I guess because their village was all fine until the later years of their life, they really don't have any bad memories. Or I guess maybe they weren't going on missions by themselves that could have possibly given them despair. That would have been cool to see some backstory on some of these guys on how they developed their skills. Like why Soy developed ninja skills. Like maybe an enemy was attacking him because he didn't keep his presence low, or maybe Hikaru wasn't fast enough or good enough as a swordsman back then that he developed some despair from that time. But I guess whatever, they all have to share a memory. They may be ogres, but their skills seems to be almost the same as ours. They could prove to be extremely troublesome opponents, so do not let your guard down. Got it. They may be strengthened by the power of despair, but they are merely ogres in the end. It's only a matter of time before they're defeated, so... Despair Mirror! Devour more enemies and plant the seeds of despair! And use that despair as fuel to become stronger! Ha! An ogre shouldn't have this much power, so they are feeding on despair after all. Okay, I do kind of like this a little bit. Old Benimaru versus new Soy. I do like seeing Benimaru versus Soy interactions. So even though this isn't like the real Benimaru, it's still cool to see. Hopefully they say something that only they would know, so that this Benimaru knows that this Soy is kind of real, or maybe knows whatever this fake Benimaru knows. Whoa! It appears that there are individuals who have differences in their strength, perhaps due to the differences in their level of despair. Either way, they are no match for our evolved selves.
えーっと
What is this? Okay, so I guess Masquerade Sky is just blasting his mirror thing everywhere, just hitting everyone? So where was even Shuna? Was she in the the main mansion? Was she back at her house? Where was she even shot? Or maybe he's using like a giant field where it's just constantly expanding, consuming all of Tempest and just making everyone go into the mirror dimension.
そんな
Lady Shuna, you were swallowed too. Swallowed?
なんてこと
Huh? Does that mean this sensation? We're inside a mirror?
うーん
Yes, it appears that this place is replicating the past, but the enemies are much stronger than they were back then. It seems that they're getting stronger by feeding off of our despair and hatred.
そんな
That's... So you have time to waste on idle chit-chat. I'll cut you down for that arrogance.